Hello YouTube, metro fans and enthusiastic gunsmiths out there. Had some free time, so I made a third version of the Duplet. So at the start I'm going to show you reload it. Then I'm going to put on a table, I'm going to show you all the features. So just like in the previous design, you pop the lever down, barrels go down. We got a cartage eject system in this one. So if you pop this lever, you got two shells flying out. We got some shells on the stock for quick reloading. Pop them in, lock it, pull one hammer, pull the other, aim, shoot. Yeah? Then you repeat the same process again. Okay, so let's start from the back. The stock is made of a really nice wood that I found. I think it's from a boat that's lying around, but it is oak, and like oak, this is its natural color, which matches the game. At the back we have a piece of metal like the previous design, but I did add some of this foam for padding, so when you put it against the shoulder it's actually more comfortable. We have a rail with 4 shell holders. Again, it can be removed by 2 screws if you want to, but it does help with quick reloading if shit is charging at you and you want to reload faster. Moving forward, on the stock we got this piece of metal, which is basically a pipe that I bended and I made it like in the actual game, and I put a screw in there to hold the M12 threaded bar in the stock that goes in, and we have a little hook for the belt. This spring is more for decoration and a nod to the original game, but in this design I addressed the issue with the stock being modifiable and adjustable, so you can adjust it left or right by screwing the stock in and out. So all you gotta do is loosen this nut and you screw it in or you screw it out to adjust it to every single person, because we have different arm lengths. If you want to remove it altogether, you can either loosen this and pop it out of here, or you can remove the whole unit by just unscrewing it from here, because there's a nut there as well. The wood, this is ergonomic handle. We have 2 screws holding it and 1 more screw on the inside. Again, it can be popped out and you can get a standard one. I prefer it like this. We have the cover, more like in the game, which is a little bit higher. The other one was more shallow and it's held by 2 screws M4. This cover also holds the trigger guard. The trigger guard is tidier, it's a little bit nicer, but it also pops out and it's disassembleable. The trigger guard actually has the mechanism for the trigger for both of these hammers. When I'll do a teardown in this video, like complete disassemble, you'll see exactly how it works. We got a safety, because I think anything that looks like a gun should have a safety. In the game it doesn't have it, and in the previous design also didn't have it. This firing pin mechanism, or the slider, it's modified from the game. It's like the previous design, it's just smaller and tidier, but the whole idea of it is that I can unscrew this nut and change the hammer, change the spring, adjust it, whatever, you name it. On the front, this back plate, again, on the previous design, it's not disassemblable, it's not detachable, it's welded. But in here, I made it disassemblable. So you have 2 bolts here, you can pop this side out, or you also have 2 bolts here, and you can pop the other side. If you want to pop them as a unit, there's also a nut in between, like the game, so you can just undo the 4 bolts here, and this thing pops out. And the reason why I did that is one of my subscribers asked me to do a 4-barrel version of it. Unfortunately, I run out of pipe, like all my fucking builds. But if you do have enough pipe, you can make one for 4 barrels, so there'd be 4 nuts here, and you can pop this one out and pop that one in place. Of course, in conjunction with more pipe here. The locking lever, like the previous design, has a hook and basically like an improvement, or is a backup. In the game, it's just 1 bolt and it just squeezes these 2 parts together. In reality, I think it's better to have this hook as for more rigidity and strength. The handle, it's bent a little bit. You can see here, like the game, and I did put on the right hand side because I'm right handed, so it's easier for me to reload, but you can put on the other side, it's not a problem. And by the way, if you are making a 4-barrel modification, you can put the same locking lever here to really hold this in place, because 4 shells at a time, that shit's gonna dislocate your shoulder. Who knows what's gonna do to this. Up here in the front we have a cartage eject system. So we have this little lever, so once you pull that, the shells pop out, and it's held by 2 screws here, so you can remove it if you want. Again, it's all up to the user, or if it malfunctions, but it's a fairly simple design. I ripped it out of a pen, by the way. In the front we got the same piece of oak. In here we have a cleaning rod, and there's actually a hole in this foregrip with a brush. So basically there's a brush, part of one part of the cleaning rod and a second part, so you can take them all apart, make a long cleaning rod so you can clean this. It's in the game. The other one didn't have it, but I figure if I'm going to put on this, it might as well have at least some kind of a function. Even though this is an airsoft variant, it still looks good and authentic. Also to the front we have this bracket that holds the laser, so you kind of know where you're shooting. And now about the barrels. So the whole idea of this is that it can be modified to the person's situation, just like in Exodus, where you can just assemble it on the go. The idea is that, say if you're going in a claustrophobic tunnel and you want something that packs a punch, but it's really short and it's easy to maneuver, so you remove the stock and you pop the standard barrels for a shot for this duplet in the game, which is up to here. So you have a small weapon that you can actually use in the tunnels at close range. If you go on the surface, shit is charging at you from from a long distance, you can put extended barrels on the stock for stability and aim. And finally, if you want something really badly charging at you and you really need to stop it dead in its tracks, you keep the stock, but you do put 4 barrels here and you blast them all 4 barrels at a go, and you dislocate your shoulder and hopefully stop that thing from charging at you. Again, this is a game, you know, I made this as an airsoft, plus minus. So last feature on it, I'm going to show you this. This is the ejector. We have the pipes here. The shells actually stick out on this one. In the previous one, Mark 1, the shells were in, so this one is more like the actual game. The game did not cartage eject system, but I figured I'd put it in there. We also have these nuts, I think they're 24 millimeter wide, with a hex bolt in it, and it's adjusted. Again, you can pop them out if you want, it's up to you. But yeah, this whole idea of this design is you can basically take it to pieces and adjust whatever you want in it. Just like in the game, it makes sense to make it like that. Like if you want to remove the pipe, if you want to put shorter pipes, you can unscrew this bolt and unscrew this bolt. This pipe flies out, well not flies out, but you can hammer it out. Here it's quite a tight fit, maybe I could put another nut in there for the future. If you want to remove the whole unit, 1 bolt, 1 bolt, 1 bolt and 1 bolt, and you put 4 barrels. And then of course we have a little hook here for this belt. Now, last but not least, where I'm from, having an unlicensed firearm is very dangerous. Well, you're going to do time for it. Hence why I don't put firing pins, and I'm not responsible for anyone doing dumb shit and hurting each other with hurting themselves with this weapon. This is purely for cosplay. For guys that want to build shit like this, or as a piece of art on the wall for fans of Metro. So please do not use this to hurt people. That's not what this channel is for. It's purely for informational purposes. In America, apparently the gun laws are a little different, so you do whatever you want. But in Ireland, or in Netherlands where I'm from, or in Europe, this is more strict on it. So you can't do this with the firing pins, but I can make it, I think, into airsoft, which is what I actually think I'm going to do. Because it would be pretty cool to go on the field with the other boys, something like this. But yeah, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any ideas or any thoughts, just write down in the comments. I will respond to them all, and see you next time.